Buenos días. Es el viernes y son las 12. Hello, everyone. It's Friday and it's 12 o'clock, so it's time for Community Spanish, broadcasting every Wednesday and Friday at 12. In addition to Community Spanish, we also have Community Mandarin running on Monday and Thursday afternoons at 12:30, Community French on Monday and Wednesday mornings at 8:30. In addition to that, we also have some children's French going on Tuesday through Thursday nights at 8 p.m. with a French bedtime story. In addition to our Facebook programming, we also actually have extra lessons for Portuguese on Instagram Live. And also occasionally we have French Fridays, which are or additional French lessons on our Instagram. So we have a lot of live content being produced every week for you to tune into. And if you do miss the live lessons here on Facebook, we do post all of the videos as well on the Facebook Live page of our website. So if you ever miss a video and you want to go back and see it, or if you want to just kind of, if you're looking for a specific topic of video, you can always go to our website and look at our video library to see all the things that we have stored up there from pretty much almost a year now that we've been running these community programs on Facebook. So a lot of great content there. One quick announcement before we get into today's video. I just wanted to do a quick reminder that we have the La Familia Rocha read-along event coming up on Tuesday, March 16th at 7 p.m. It's a free virtual event you can attend where the director of Rola, Ed Rocha, who wrote the La Familia Rocha series, will be reading the first two books in the series which have been published so far. It's a kids kind of cartoon book series, all in Spanish to help kids learn Spanish, and also it's really a fun story about kind of his own family's history. So it's based on a true story about his parents and how they met and how they kind of settled and started his family. So it's a really fun series, and we're really excited about this new event to be able to have this read along so people can join in. You can find more information about that on lafamiliarocha.com. You can also check it out on the Rola Languages Facebook page. We have the event and links to where you can reserve your free ticket. So that stuff is all up there. So now, without further ado, let's get into our topic for today. So we're looking at a kind of new topic. In the past few videos, we were doing some more kind of review things of things that we have learned previously. We were doing a lot of review with por and para. And now that we've finished that review, we're going to be going to head onto a new topic, which is a kind of specific one. We're going to be looking at this combination of when you have a preposición, a preposition, and a pronombre, pronoun. I'm going to explain in a second more about what that means, and we're of course going to practice this together once I can explain and share a little bit of information. So, so you can see it on the screen in front of you. So again, just to break down these two words first, like of preposición and pronombre, or preposition and pronoun. These are grammar words. Maybe you're not super familiar to you. So just to explain those quickly. So a preposition is a word that we use that kind of helps situate something in space or time. These are usually really short words. And so words like at or to or of, these are all prepositions in English. And so the kind of trick that I learned when I was studying prepositions was that if you can put the words the cloud after the word and it makes sense, like on the cloud, under the cloud, over the cloud, and it sounds good, then you know you found a preposition. So that's what a preposition is. And so we're going to be looking at those in Spanish, the examples of a, de, en, para, sin, and con. And then for the pronombre part, or the pronoun part, pronombre or pronoun is a word that replaces another thing. So in this case, we're talking about, when we talk about these personal pronouns, where we're replacing someone's name and instead using a word like me or you or he or she. So that's why we say it's a pronoun, it's replacing. That's what we're talking about, replacing someone's name. So now in Spanish, this is not a super complicated thing, but it's really kind of helpful to lay it all out because there are a couple of little quirks to learn here. So that's why I wanted to do a lesson to explain how this works. So normally when we have a preposition, like for example, we can see on the left side, like a, which is to, de, which is of or from, en, which is in, para, which is for, sin, which means without, or con, which means with. These are some examples of some very useful common prepositions. Then when we combine them with a word like me or you or he or she, so like me, again, me for me, and ti for you. Now, in most of the cases, we don't really have to do anything special, just like a mí, de mí, en mí, all of these things. So we can just kind of keep the word and that. But the one that I want to especially draw our attention to is that with con, we have a little bit of a different situation where we actually have, it becomes a new word, transforms into a new word. So instead of just having the preposition and the pronoun, it's going to combine and make a whole new word. So in this case, instead of saying con me, what we say is conmigo. So you can repeat it along with me. Conmigo, conmigo, And then for you, or sorry, with you, it's contigo. Contigo. So again, instead of saying con ti, which would be our normal formula, we're going to say contigo. So these are a couple of specific exceptions, and they're only for me and ti. So if you're using like él or ella, usted, any of the other people, this will not apply. It's only for me, or coming from yo, or ti coming from tú. So now we're going to practice a couple of exercises with this to combine our preposiciones and pronombres. And again, we're just working with these as some example prepositions, but there are many, many prepositions that you can also work with. So it's certainly not limited to the words that we have in front of us here, but these are just some of the most common useful ones we might come across. Okay, so now we're going to do a quick chart to practice putting these things together. So starting with número uno, so again, we have the clue on the left-hand side, we have our preposition, our preposición, and then in the middle, we have our pronombre personal, or personal pronoun. So we want to be a little bit careful, like the difference between yo and me. Same thing as in English. We have I and we have me. And so they're not exactly interchangeable. We know when we should use I and when we should use me. It's the same thing in Spanish. So we wouldn't actually say para yo, but we would say para mí. Right? And feel free to join along with me doing this exercise. Escribe tus respuestas en los comentarios abajo, so you can write your own responses in the comments below. Okay, so I'm going to write out the answers as well and show them on screen. So again, número uno, again, we have para, and then we have yo as our guideline. As we know, we wouldn't say for I, we would say for me. It's the same thing in Spanish. So we're going to say para mí. Número uno es para mí. Para mí. And notice you see when the writing we have the little accent on me. This is just to distinguish between me without accent. When we write it like this, it means my, like something belonging to you. So that's why there's no change in the pronunciation, but we just in the writing, we want to differentiate between these two words, between my and me. So this me, as in me, has an accent on it. Okay, número dos. We have a, and then we have the word tú as our guidelines. But again, as I said, we're not going to use tú. We're going to use instead ti. So a ti. So this is, again, the case of saying like to you. So if we're saying you, like a sentence like you do this, then we're going to use tú. But if we're saying like I give this to you, and you're not doing anything, you're just kind of a person and represented in the sentence, we're going to use ti instead. So for número dos, we have a ti. So por favor, repita conmigo, a ti, to you. Número tres, we have this one, we have con, and then we have yo in our clue. So as again, same thing, we cannot say con yo, but we could say con mi, and then we remember, okay, this is one of those special exceptions where we use the word conmigo, 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 with me. Okay, número cuatro. We have sin, and then the word nosotros. So this one, sin meaning without, and nosotros meaning we or us. In this case, we don't have to do anything. It stays just how it is. As we saw that we're only making these combinations if it's con and then along with the for me or for you, but nosotros is not included in that. So we have, just keep it how it is. Sin nosotros. Sin nosotros. Without us. Okay, número cinco. We have entre and ellas. So entre being the word between, ellas being they, an all-female group. So again, same thing. There's nothing for us to do here to combine, because again, the combination is only happening with con and then for the yo and the tú. So this one, nothing to do. Nice and simple. Tenemos entre ellas. Entre ellas, between them. Okay, last one in this exercise, we have de and then tú. Okay, so this one we do need to do a little work. So while we're not going to combine it like we would in conmigo or contigo, we do have to change tú to ti. And again, we use the word tú when we're saying you, and as in if you want the grammar word, it's the subject pronoun, meaning you are the person who's going to do the action in the sentence, like you run, you talk, you are going to do your homework, then we use tú. But if we're talking about, so this is about you, it's for you, and again, there's no sentence with you, like you are not doing anything, you just kind of, you as a person are appearing in the sentence, we use ti for those cases. So this is why we have here de ti, from you or of you, de ti. Okay, we're going to do one more quick exercise before we wrap up this video, and it's a matching exercise. Empareja las frases. So we're going to match the right Spanish with the right English translation. So starting with número uno, we have tú das caramelos al niño. Tú das caramelos al niño. So here's where we need to bring in, hopefully if you have some vocabulary and some verbs in here, you can bring in. And if you're a beginner, don't sweat it too much. Again, things come with practice and time. And if you do need to kind of go back, then I would recommend some of our more beginner lessons before you come back to this video, which is a slightly more advanced. As I said, you're welcome to use the website rolalang.com, go to the Facebook Live page, and you can search for the videos that are really most helpful for you at your current level. But for now, I'm gonna go through and on the knowledge that you do have some information here, so we can do mostly kind of review and proceed forward together. So, okay, número uno, so tú das caramelos al niño, you give candy to the child or to the kid. Okay, we can see this is going to be letra C. You give candies to the kid. Tú das caramelos al niño. C. Okay, número dos. No hay regalos para ti. Hay, meaning there are, and we have no hay, so there are not. They are not regalos. Regalos is a good vocab word, presents or gifts. Para ti, para ti. So here's our combination of our preposition and pronombre, para and ti. So no hay regalos para ti. There are no gifts for you, no presents for you. That is letra E. Letra E. So dos is E. Okay, número tres. Ella da regalos a sus padres. Ella da regalos a sus padres. Ella, being she, da gives regalos from our last sentence, present, a sus padres, to her parents. She gives presents to her parents. Número tres es letra F. She gives presents to her parents. Letra F. Ok, número cuatro. Es todo para ustedes. Es todo para ustedes. Here we have para being our preposition and ustedes as our pronombre. Again, replacing, like instead of saying like Bob, Jim, Sarah, and Caitlin, we're going to say ustedes, is as in you all, replacing everyone's name. So that's why it's a pronoun, pronombre. Es todo para ustedes. It's all for you. It's all for you. Okay, we have with número uno, let's start número a, letra A. So the first answer, letra A. It's all for you, as in you all. Es todo para ustedes. Okay, número 5, moving right along, número 5, ella viene conmigo. Ella viene conmigo, conmigo being our preposición y pronombre, and it's one of our special exceptions that transforms itself into a whole new word. Ella viene conmigo. She comes with me. So conmigo, with me. So letra D. Número 5, letra D. Ella viene conmigo. Ella viene conmigo. Ok, dos más. Número 6, no vamos a ir sin él. No vamos a ir sin él. Sin él being our combination of preposición y pronombre. Sin más él, okay? Sin without, él, him, okay? No vamos a ir sin él. We are not going to go without him. So vamos a ver, es letra G. Letra G. Letter G. Letra G. No vamos a ir sin él. We are not going to go without him. Okay, last one. Número 7. Entre ellas no hay secretos. Entre ellas no hay secretos. By process of elimination, we know what the answer is, but just to go through that anyway. Entre ellas, between them. Again, here's our preposición en pronombre, in which we cannot combine because it's only, again, the combination is only happening with con and specifically with me and you. Entre ellas no hay secretos. Between them, there are no secrets, or there are not secrets. Again, I being there is, there are, but we have no I, there is not, or there are not. So between them, there are not secrets. So vamos a tener letra B. Letra B. Okay, excelente. So es este ejercicio. So just to wrap up this exercise, let's repeat these one more time to practice and help us to internalize these rules. So vamos a repetir esta tabla. A mí, a ti, de mí, de ti, en mí, en ti, para mí, para ti, sin mí, sin ti, conmigo, contigo. Muy bien, excelente trabajo, great work. As I said, if you want to review this video or any of our previous videos, feel free to go to rollalanguage.com to the Facebook Live page of the website, where you'll find our video library of all the previous Community Spanish lessons that we have had. There's tons of content up there, and it also not just Community Spanish, but the other community programs I mentioned at the start of the video with Community Mandarin, Community French, Children's French, and also from our previous series with Children's Spanish. There's lots of content up there. And if you want to go to our YouTube channel as well, you can find all this content and even more videos there from other projects that we've doing. So there's really a lot to check out. I'll see you next on Wednesday at 12 for the next Community Spanish. Gracias y adiós.